This is a 6x8 greenhouse, so organization is very important. Oh my goodness, nosy neighbors. I don't know if you all have nosy neighbors, but my goodness, they're like Mrs. Kravitz from Bewitched. But being able to stack, use shelves and tiered tables is very important for a greenhouse. Now, this one is 6x8. There are other sizes, but this is what I use for winter crops. Is a 6x8 Palram greenhouse. And here's some Swiss chard. As you can see, I have layered containers. And another key is to make sure that you can get around. Last year, I had things arranged, so it was kind of difficult to get around, especially as I planted more crops and they started to mature. So make sure that you're able to get to them, tend to them, and be able to water. So be able to organize around the perimeter, as well as take advantage of tiered shelving and tiered planting arrangements. And as you'll see, I also have a hanging basket. We're getting to it. A hanging basket, which also takes advantage of the space that we have in the greenhouse. Many of these containers I got from Home Depot. You might not be able to find them in the regular stores, but you can order them online. There's the neighbor dog. Some of them you can. Well, I live in the boondocks, so many of the Home Depots and Lowe's have many of the planters because it is the boondocks, but especially like some of the oak whiskey barrels. And there's my nosy neighbor again. Yeah, so that's pretty much what you can get. Oak is good because it doesn't decay. I use plastic, of course, which is good. Make sure it's a healthy plastic. And I have some other links I'll share with you too, where I get supplies, like Gardener's Supply is another. So I'll provide a list. But this is inside of the Palram greenhouse. I have the Palram shelving, and it does have a ventilation window. So this greenhouse has served me well. And as you notice, I have pea gravel along the floors. Of course, it makes it visually appealing, but also for the winter, it traps the heat, and for the summer, it traps the cool air so you can cool it off. But I don't use the greenhouse in the summer, mainly in the winter. I'll share with you later slides or later presentations on the spring house that I use for the summer, and so we'll go from there. But this is a peek inside of the greenhouse for the winter crops, and I want to keep birds and different types of pests away, and these don't need to be pollinated, so these particular types of crops don't have to be outside to grow. So then these are many of your greens. I have some herbs growing like sage, which would survive the winter. I have some basil, but basil doesn't grow well in the winter, and we do get freezes. I have some rosemary, if you could see that. But, you know, collards, turnip greens, Swiss chard, those sort of things that I'll be growing. Parsley. I'm going to show you also how to grow garlic from garlic. You can also grow onions from onions. And here we have it. And again, nosy neighbors. See you soon.